Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be reacting to Mel Kiper's mock draft where he has the Washington Commanders taking LSU Heisman winning quarterback Jayden Daniels at number 2. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, that notification bell as well so you never miss a video, and comment down below who you want the Washington Commanders to take at 2. Make sure you guys check out BetUS, link in the description. So hopefully you guys are having a great weekend so far, just started, but we also got football tomorrow, NFC and AFC championship games, so I'm excited for that. But it's, we're waiting a little bit for the Washington Commanders to announce who they hire for their head coach, and a lot of that is going to have to do with who wins and loses tomorrow. We don't have any candidates on the 49ers. We do not have any candidates with the Chiefs, so it's really the Ravens. We have Mike Macdonald and Anthony, Weaver. I think he's one of their assistant coaches. Not sure exactly which position he's. I know he's not a coordinator, offensive or defensive coordinator though. And then for the Lions, we got Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. So 4 different candidates that are coaching in these games, and I think our number 1 and number 2 candidates, I believe, in Ben Johnson and Mike Macdonald, guys that we both really want. And again, I kind of do want the Ravens to win and kind of am rooting for the Lions. But in terms of Commanders' best interest, if those teams lose quicker, we'll get our head coach quicker. So honestly, just let the 49ers win this game. It is what it is. I mean, obviously, I have no control over that. But if they win, then we'll probably have Ben Johnson announce his head coach this week early. A lot of people it was reported that Ben Johnson was going to interview here Monday, and now it's reported that it's going to be around Monday. So they said it was going to be this next week, and Monday is the day that people were telling me in the comments. So shout out to them. But now, I rambled a little bit about that. Let's get into the mock draft because, we're waiting for the head coach, but we can still talk about mock draft stuff. And the Commanders are picking at 2. 1 likely is going to be Caleb Williams, even though the Bears did post like a bunch of highlights today and saying about Justin Fields saying QB1, but the Cardinals did that with Josh Rosen, and they drafted Kyler Murray that same year. Cliff Kingsbury was giving him compliments, and they drafted him. So it doesn't matter what these teams post or say. It really matters what their actions are and what they do eventually. So we're just really going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see what they do, but the Commanders are going to have their choice of at least the number 2 quarterback in the draft. So if Caleb Williams goes one, they still have the choice between Jayden Daniels and Drake May at number 2. And there's been a lot of differing opinions between the two of them. Kiper has the Washington Commanders taking Jayden Daniels over Drake May at number 2. I don't have the full article and stuff, but if you guys want, you guys can go to Grant Paulson's Twitter here and watch this 2-minute video. I'm sure it's copyrighted, so I'm not going to play it for you guys, but he had a great year this past year, 72% completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. You guys can see the passing efficiency. I think he's playing in the SEC against great competition. He also did have good receivers. Malik Neighbors, who's going to be a first-round guy. I think it's Frank Thomas, something like that, bigger receiver that might be a first-round pick as well. The year before, 69% completion percentage, about 2,900 yards, 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 144 passing efficiency. So people want to say, oh, he only had one good year. Well, he still had a very solid 2022 season. I mean, he had over a 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio in the 2022 season. And we'll go over his stats here in a little bit. And he has played a lot of football, played at ASU for 3 seasons. Again, his first year wasn't bad. 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The next year, didn't play much. Honestly, not going to lie to you, I don't know why. Was it because of the pandemic? Maybe. Then the next year has a bad year, 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. The year after that, 17-3. He's also a rushing threat as well. And, this past year had over 1,100 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. And in college, that's insane, especially with the sack yardage rules, where if you get sacked, you're losing yardage. And one of the, knocks on him, I guess, is that he, does take some sacks and he does take big hits. He's going to have to learn how to protect himself at the next level. But he does have a good, body type for being quarterback, at least the height, 6'4", 210. So he's still needs to put on some weight because 210 is very light, but it's not like he's extremely skinny like Bryce Young. He's more than Bryce Young. I don't know what Bryce Young was going in, but I think he was like the lightest quarterbacks, just like Emmanuel Ford is the lightest corner. But 6'4", 210, he'll probably be able to get that up to like 6'4", 220, and he'll be chilling. A little skinny, but that is fine. The big thing is learn how to take care of yourself. Get rid of the ball early, slide. You don't need to get that extra yard or two. Just get out of bounds if you're the quarterback. If you're another position, it's a little bit different, but that's just kind of my take on the situation. He had a 95.6 QBR, which was number 1 in the country, and a lot of people said he had the best tape out of any quarterback, this past season. And a huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. They're giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets, one to you and a friend/family member. All you got to do is follow all the instructions on the screen to win 2 Super Bowl tickets this year. And again, make sure you guys check BetUS out. First link in the description to get 125% first time deposit match up to $2,500. Make sure you check them out. And of course, you got NFL Championship Sunday this weekend. You got the Chiefs going up against the Baltimore Ravens. The Chiefs are 4-point underdogs. And then at 6:30, you got the Lions against the 49ers. And the 49ers are 7.5-point favorites. I personally think the 49ers are going to win. I don't really think there's obviously a chance the Lions could win for sure. And I think the Ravens will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs did, and would probably pick them to cover, maybe even a little bit of money line there. But as usual, though, make sure to bet responsibly. And huge shout out to BetUS. Link in the description. You have a chance to win some Super Bowl tickets if you follow all the instructions in the past video, or the video that was played earlier. Now let's get back to Jayden Daniels' talk. So a lot of people are starting to get higher and higher on Jayden Daniels. Before they're like, okay, maybe he'll be like a mid-first round guy. Now the consensus seems that he's going to be at minimum a top 10 pick, but could be top 5, maybe even the number 2 overall pick. Mel Kiper, obviously he has his faults. He's not the best at times in terms of his player evaluation, but a lot of times he does have some sources, and if he's put him at number 2, there's a very good chance he's going to be in the top 5, top 10. And it's not just him. Daniel Jeremiah had him at number 3 to the Patriots, but said he had the best tape of any, the top quarterbacks in the class, at least out of him, May and Caleb Williams. Maybe Michael Penix had a little bit better tape this year, but obviously Michael Penix, not only is he 24, which Jayden Daniels is probably like 23, 22, but he also has so many different injury concerns, which are going to turn a lot of teams off. But Jayden Daniels has a lot of potential, dual threat guy, good height, might need to put on a little bit of weight, has good arm talent, very dynamic. And again, people are starting to find out about him. I know some people were ahead of the curve on it, like Jalen from Bleeding Burgundy and Gold. Shout out to him. He's been on the Jayden Daniels train for a while. I'm going to trust the GM in whatever quarterback they take, as long as they take quarterback at 2. If they don't take quarterback, I'm not going to blindly trust them unless they really like Howe, or they really like the quarterbacks next year and they think they're going to have a bad pick. But even then, I guess at that point, it's just saying they don't really like any of these quarterbacks. And I guess in that case, it's fine. But I would prefer them to take quarterback, and I'll be fine. I'll be ecstatic with Caleb Williams, and I'll be fine with either Jayden Daniels or Drake May. I think we're going to find out a lot more about these two guys over the draft process. See their numbers at the combine, not a big deal, but for Jayden would be interesting to see his 40 time, how quick he is if he runs a 40, and maybe how much weight he's able to put on. Is he able to get to 220, 215? And with Drake, very similar stuff, and a lot of it's going to be the draft process and how these guys interview, stuff like that, because the tape's already there. These guys, teams have been watching tape for a while, and if Ben Johnson's here, you're going to have those connections with him and UNC to Drake May. Could you say the same thing about Sam Howell? But I don't think it'll be, huge deal in terms of, Ben Johnson comes here, we're guaranteed getting Drake May. It's going to be who Adam Peters wants, and then, as well with how they mesh with Ben Johnson a little bit, but it's mostly going to be up to Adam Peters and his front office, which is what you want. And obviously they're going to be hopefully in sync with the coaching staff a little bit and telling them of everything along the way. But it's going to be Adam Peters' decision, and that's what we want. We got this guy for a reason because he's one of the best evaluators. So I'm going to trust him in terms of Jayden Daniels or Drake May or Caleb Williams out of those three who we take. But if Caleb's there, I want Caleb. That's just me. But the draft discussion is going to be very interesting because it's going to continue to develop over the next couple months. I mean, I guess 3 months. We got what? To February to March to April. Yeah, we got 3 months till the draft. So a fourth of a year. Still got a couple months till free agency, or a little bit less than that. We don't even have our head coach yet, but I do like to start this dialogue right now and see how it develops over the offseason. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.